All right, here we go. It is a brand new Flyers Daily for the 25th of April, 2025. Flyers Daily presented by Ticketmaster. Make more memories live. Yeah, we are here. We made it. We made it to the episode, Friday episode. I'm taping this. So let's see what time is it. It's 6:38. Playoff games have, well, one of them just began, 6:30. Thank you, NHL, for doing staggered starts finally. 6:37, 9:30, 10. We got good staggered starts, good schedule on the card tonight. Had my final chemo treatment yesterday. I'm elated. I did it. I made it through all 8. I'm a little weak. You can hear my voice is a little weak. And, tomorrow or Saturday when they unhook my pump, which I have sitting right next to me here in my little fanny pack, it's got a pump inside it that continues my infusion for 46 hours after I leave. I'll just see if I can show you. Oh, there you go. See the inside, what that looks like. And there's a little electronic pump in there. And it continues to give me my treatment for that 46 hours. I'll come Saturday, unhook me from this, and we'll be on a break for a month and maybe a little more before our next phase. And we'll get fresh scans coming up on May 7th. But I'm elated that I made it through it. I'm so happy because it quite possibly, when it's all said and done, and the postscript of my life, it is probably going to be the hardest thing I will ever have gone through physically, mentally, and emotionally, and the combo platter of it. So the support you guys have shown on here has been awesome. And I don't get to yesterday, I don't believe, without the support of the Flyers community, the hockey community. I have my family and friends and close friends and their support. But in this fight, I needed more. I needed more from everyone. And that is why I was able to get to the goal line. I'm no stronger than anybody else. I'm just using the fuel that so many of you are giving me. And it means everything to me. So thank you. Chemo in the rear view, the infusion part. We're going to have chemo, pill, and radiation for 5 weeks coming up, but we'll deal with that when we get there. We're going to live in the moment. We're going to stop living. I lived my first 53 years of my life in 27 years because I was always in fast forward mode, always worried about going to the next place, the next destination, never being where I am mentally. I plan to live the next 30 or 35 years of my life in 50 years. Slow down. Enjoy it. It's not always the end destination that is the good part. The journey to get to the destination is the good part. Speaking of which, that's what the playoffs are about, right? Like, enjoy the ride. We've got the Lehigh Valley Phantoms in the playoffs, and they're really intriguing because they get all these additions, whether it's Alex Bump, who pots 2 goals in his first playoff game. And I thought it was hilarious what he said. I saw it on social media after the game. He said that the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, he said they didn't want to play a hard game. He said, like I said, they don't like to defend. Soft defenders, in my opinion. That's a dude with a lot of grapes to come out with that in his first pro playoff game. He's a confident kid. He plays the game confident, too. You can see he wants to dictate the terms on the ice. So he's with the Phantoms. You can go see him tomorrow night at the PPL Center. Well, tonight. Great Barn against the Lehigh or Scranton Wilkes-Barre Penguins. The chance for the Phantoms to sweep and move on to Charlotte in the second round. Also, obviously, Jett Luchanko's there. Maybe you haven't seen Nikita Grebenkin in person just yet. You want to see Grebenkin. I know Ian Laperrière is going to join us in a moment. Really liked his playoff game. Played a big, heavy game. Used the body well. And that's what the playoffs are all about. You're going to see guys like Hunter McDonald or Brendan Furry or, Samu Tuamala, Gaucher. These are all guys that some of them have chances to be NHL players. Some of them could likely be on the Flyers next year. Like Grebenkin could be a Flyer next year. So could a guy like Jett Luchanko. So could, some of these players, you got a chance to see these guys. So it's a great product to get up there and see it. Ethan Sampson's been a guy that's been really impressive. I'm going to ask Lappy about Ethan Sampson because I really liked what I've seen out of him so far. Maybe Jett Luchanko is a Flyer next year. He was a +3 in the game, had a couple really nice plays had over the last week some really good assists. He's not piling up points. And I don't know that he'll ever be a point pile upper, but he is learning where to go, where to be, the pace, the lack of time and space of the pro game. All good things for him. We'll talk about Emile Andre also with Ian Laperrière. But let's get to him right now. He is the head coach of the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, a guy that I've known for many, many years, one of the great hockey people that I love talking the game with. Really do. All the respect in the world for this man's hockey acumen and also his taste in high-end supermarket buffets. We were both Wegmans guys. Joining us from the Phantoms right now is head coach Ian Laperrière. Lappy, how are you?
I'm good. It's summertime almost, and we're still playing hockey, which is great. And just want to say, bud, I'm with you. I know we're far and we don't see each other as much as we used to when I was in Philly, but I think of you quite a bit, man. I'm with you in your battle, and I'm proud of you. You look great, and you're a fighter, and I have no doubt that you're going to kick that thing's ass for sure. And I'm proud of you, bro.
I appreciate it, and I get quite a few notes from you, and we go back and forth quite often. And your support, it means a ton to me. You've been through some things in your life as well, and medical things, and we attack these things like hockey players, right? Like everything I do in my life was shaped by this game and the way I approach practicing it, playing it, coaching it, watching it, loving it. Do you find yourself doing the same things in any adversity that you get?
For sure. That's why I tell parents and kids that are playing our game that, everybody's dreaming about making to the NHL, but there's more to our game to that. Yes, to make it to the NHL is one thing, but the journey is going to take you to that. If you can make it there, even if you don't, you have to go through a lot of obstacle, and it's going to help you during life afterwards. Kids that they pee-wee, there's an injury, or Bantam, there's an injury. They might not make it to the NHL, but they've been through adversity through their life, and in their future job, it's going to help them down the road for sure. I'm a big believer in that. Sports is great for that. It's not only hockey, just sports
team
itself.
Sport.
For sure. Can't agree more.
I think team sport and hockey, a locker room, it's like a workplace. And you're gonna see some of the same dynamics in different ways through the rest of your life on how you deal with people in a locker room, people you like, some you don't. How you deal with an opponent, which could be an opposition company trying to steal your business, whatever it might be. I think it's really important. But I'm thrilled to be here, and I'm thrilled you guys got a win in Game 1 over the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, who you knocked out last year. I was in the building for that game last year in Lehigh Valley at the PPL Center. Loved it. Had a great time. Me and my wife came up. Had dinner, and Bobby Brink's parents came up to me at the bar. I'm Bobby Brink's dad. Yeah, nice to meet you. Great town, great atmosphere. What'd you guys do in Game 1? Because you looked like a really good team.
Yeah, you know what? We're playing a hell of a team. Like Wilkes-Barre's been one of the best team in our division all year, and for me, it's the most talented team in our division. And they do have character. They're well coached, and it was a challenge yesterday. And I felt our boys showed up. We checked well. We were above their speed, and that's a team. If you want to cheat, they're gonna make you pay. They're gonna make you pay cash. And I felt like the guys bought into the pre-scout, the game plan, and we did it for 60 minutes. And it was for sure one of the best game I've coached since I've been here for 4 years. And it's very encouraging to see the guys buying in, and they get rewarded with it. They get rewarded. And but again, tomorrow is going to be it's a different night. They're going to be desperate. They don't want to go home and play golf. They want to keep going like we do. So we're going to need to be better, because I know they will. And knowing that coaching staff and their players, they're going to be better. And so we will need to be better too.
Let me ask you, because coaching the AHL, like in the NHL, you have, if you're going to the playoffs, sometimes you get additions to your lineup. You get support that comes in via the trade deadline or sometime during the season. In the AHL, you get guys coming up that are beginning their pro career. You got a couple guys coming from college. You got, Bump comes from college after winning a national championship. Jett Luchanko finishes his season in the CHL with Guelph. You have to integrate these guys into a locker room, an environment, a culture on and off the ice in quick order. How's that? How do you face that kind of challenge?
Well, it was different this year. Like in the past, we would have one or two guys that are um, college kids that we sign as free agents. You see if they can play for us next year. But those two guys that you just named, Bumper and Jett, they're different. They're like top prospects for the Flyers. Both of them had great college career, and the other one still in junior age. So and great player in his league. But when they come to us, it's not like I'm gonna tell them, okay, you're gonna play 5 6 minutes tonight. So get used to your surrounding and your teammates. No, 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 no. Those guys are top players. They're top six players. So
They go
I'm
right
playing
in.
them right in and tons.
Yep.
And that's my job here. Listen, like I know why I'm here. I'm here to develop those future Flyers, and I don't have orders, but I do have a guideline to follow. And the guideline is those kids have to play into their strength. That means power play, PK, 5-on-5, big minutes. So I put them in right at the end of the year. For Bumper, he played 2 games for us, and Jett played like 10 or 11 games, and they fit right in. But there's a reason why Jett was top 14 overall or something like that, and the way Bumper his college career went, he was one of the best college player this year. And you can tell just by putting them in, and they responded really well. And like Bumper scored 2 goals yesterday.
Boom.
Jett
First
made
playoff
two.
game as a pro. Not a
I
big
know,
deal.
and Jett 2 assists, 2 great assists on 2 of the goals
Hmm.
there. I mean, those two kids are. But people don't understand that they've been through those moments. I know it's pro hockey, but like Bumper just went through the NCAA tournament, like one of the best player in the country, and Jett went to yes, his junior team didn't make the playoffs, but he represented Canada at the World Juniors. That's as high as compete that you're going to find at that age. So they come to us. Yes, it's pro hockey and everything, but the pressure they've used to deal with that pressure all their life, and they sure look like it. Yesterday they went through that game like it was just another game. They raised their level like everybody else on the team, and that's what we need. And that's what the Flyers want to see. That's what I want to see, because it shows their character.
The interesting thing is both of those players, even though one's in the CHL and Jett playing for Guelph, they make the playoffs. But every opponent that he played this year, he was circled. He was a
For
guy that
sure.
the other team had to know. He's their most dangerous player. And then the year we saw at a bump was ridiculous. And I remember watching him in the Frozen Four and throughout, some of the playoffs in the NCAA. And Lappy, even when he wasn't putting up a point on the score sheet, he was tilting the ice. He was dictating play. I just
Yeah.
felt like he was more in command of the game than a lot of the opponents he was playing against.
I
What are your
I
first impressions?
I can only imagine in college what he was doing, because he's doing that here. Like, when
Yeah,
he's out there, he's making plays, he's got poise, he's physical. Teams are going, like Wilkes-Barre went after him yesterday because they know they have their pre-scouts like they did with Jett. But what I like, it's the character of those two kids. They respond. They don't fold. They go right through those guys and they welcome the challenge. And it's great. I think it's a great news for the Flyers Nation to see what's coming their way soon. And yeah, I'm very impressed with both of those guys. And same with Nikita. Nikita's been great. We got him through a trade there, and he's been helping us big time too.
is he as funny off the ice as we've seen the one clip, forecheck, back check,
I
paycheck. You've
know.
been saying that since '87, Lap.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. He wasn't even a thought when we used to say that.
yeah,
But great kid. Great kid.
yeah,
But what I like about him as a player, he competes. Like yesterday in Wilkes-Barre, guys were going after him because they know he's talented. He went right back at them. He didn't shy
yeah.
away from the physical play, and which that's what all playoffs are all about. You look at the NHL and you look at our league, it's the same thing. Everybody tries to crush everybody, and that's what I love about our playoff hockey. But those three kids actually all responded well. They pushed back. They didn't take any stupid penalties, but they're involved in the play, and that's what you want to see from young kids.
When you see certain kids come up, you can see it written all over the face. You have the instinct of a coach and a coach that played a lot.
Mhm.
And before they even step on the ice, sometimes you can see if a player is coming in confident or wondering about where he fits in this level of play. When you first get eyes on Bonk and you have those conversations with him after he wins the national champion, he is swollen with confidence. Did that translate to you right away
For
in your
sure,
conversation? Yeah, I mean,
big
he
time,
just looks it.
big time. He came to us on. He played Friday, last Friday, his first game. So The last time he touched his equipment was Saturday, the prior Saturday. So listen, we were both young at one point. I've never won an NCAA championship, but I know if I would have partied all that week, and I'm sure he
Oh
did.
yeah.
He
Yep.
didn't tell me yes or no, but listen, I know I have two. I have a 21 and a 23-year-old at home, but they're not home anymore. But I know what they do, so I would have done the same thing. He probably
Yeah.
party but when he practiced on Thursday, it was all business. Like he was out there, and I was worried about playing a back to back. He played Friday, Saturday, played 13 something on Friday because we didn't have that many power play. And the following night in Hershey, which is not an easy building to play in, played 20 minutes power play, and he looked better even on the back to back. So that tells me that the kid is a hockey player. You talk to him, he's got his little toque on all the time, and he's got the little flow there that I wish I still had, but I don't. But he's
Yeah.
that kid that he's, when you say he's a hockey player, well, that kid
Yeah.
is wants that's all he wants to do in life, and you can tell the way he acts, the way he plays, the way he challenges the other team, the way he challenges line mate out there when he tries to make plays. It's when they say don't miss your first impression. Well, so far for me, because I didn't know much about him, I heard the buzz around him from our scouts, our development guys, or Danny Jonesy. But until you coach him, you see him, it's tough for me to see what I got under my hands. Right now, he's been everything what they advertise for sure.
And you look at how those guys prepare, how they recover, because that's such a big part of being a pro.
It
Um,
is.
you and I spoke before the season about Jett and about, I mean, he's an old soul, very mature for being such a young man.
Yeah.
I feel like his game is really mature too. The way he carries himself off the ice feels like a 28-year-old to me. Does not feel like a teenager in any way, shape, or form. The way he's built, his seriousness. What is the difference between Jett when you saw him at the beginning of the year to when you're seeing him now?
Well, I know that the reason why the Flyers sent him back to junior is to work on his offensive flares, making plays, try stuff that, if you would have stayed with the Flyers, probably being on the fourth line, third line, like, with checkers, which was different. Went back to junior, big minutes, big offensive minutes, work on his offensive part of his game. And it shows. Like the plays he made last night, you got to go back. I don't know if you saw those two plays.
Yeah, the
They're,
pass was
they're
ridiculous.
they're ridiculous for an 18-year-old to come in. It's not like he's coming in preseason in Lehigh Valley. He's coming in the playoffs against the best team in our division with a lot of character on the other side, a lot of skills on the other side. And he's making those plays, and he looks good, and he's building on it. And you're right. Like you talk to him, like we're totally different. I'm hyper. I talk too much. I'm all over the place. He's calm, doesn't say a word. I talk to him, sit with him, show him clips. I'm like, you get it? He's like, yeah, all good. So like he's very coachable. He gets it really quickly, and he's got a bright future. I'm very excited. Like people out there have to realize, like I know it's hard to watch right now. Like I bleed orange like everybody who listens to your show. And when I watch the Flyers, I see where they're at. It's not easy, even if I'm not there. I'm here. It's not easy for any of us. But for me, I can tell you guys that I see what's coming. And
Yeah.
Danny's got a plan. Jonesy has a plan. I see what's coming, and the future is bright. Might take a year, two, three more years, but people are going to stay with it and just believe in what Jonesy and Danny are doing. And I see it firsthand. I see what's coming, and I coach them. And listen, I don't know much about much in life, but one thing I know is hockey, and I can see if the guys are talented and they're going in the right places. And I can be more excited for the Flyers.
And you also know what it takes between the years to do it too. Like there's guys, tons of guys that have come through with all the skill in the world, and they had no belly. They had no compete, and
Yeah.
that's the other thing about Jett that I'm really impressed with is just the way his demeanor about the game. His dad must have been a coach. Like he just looks like a son of a coach.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Like he's like Noah Case a little bit. I know Casey's dad
Yeah,
coached him, and
big
like
fundamental.
yeah, yeah,
Yep,
yeah. Details. That's the thing too. He's
yeah,
18 years old. His details are amazing.
sticks unbelievable. Yeah,
Stick details, angles, supporting. Like he's a center, yes, but he's supporting. He's doing the right thing. Like is he perfect? No. But when you watch his game, like really watch his game, not only the goals and assists, like everybody, like for us coaches and my coaching staff, we look at goals and assists, which is awesome. But there's another game like away from the puck that people talk about. How easy away from the puck? Some people make fun of it, but it's so important because the way you play away from the puck, that's how you retrieve that puck quicker.
And she
And
gained advantage,
it
territorial
is.
advantage. Yeah.
If you know how to play the game away from the puck, you will end up with that puck quicker. So, but that kid gets it. He
Yeah.
makes mistakes. You tell him once, and you won't make that mistake again. Same thing with Bumper, and I love your honesty too, Bumper. We were talking
You
system
got
when you
after
first
it.
got it. I talked to your Bumper like when you first got here. I'm like I'm like, the way we play our first four is going back. Is that the way you play in college? He's like, Coach, I'll be honest. Yes, that's the way we played, but I wasn't really good at it. So they're honest about their game, so
I
makes
love
it
that.
easy for us. Yeah, I do too because it makes it easy for
It's
me and
awareness.
my staff to work with them.
Yeah, he's not in denial.
No,
Dealing with a player
no,
in denial all the time is really difficult. Like
yeah,
I get that sense, obviously, with Jett too, that like he's going to be one of those guys that's going to develop at a different rate because of his own self accountability and
yeah,
awareness
yeah.
of where he's weak and needs to be better, and the fact that he will only need some players. You need to tell them 350 times they still make the same mistake, and they make a move right before entering the blue line with a flow traffic on the flanks. you
And
know.
he's got the biggest quality for today's game too. He can skate,
But he
but
skates to the right places too. That's the
he
big thing for
does.
me.
But
Yeah.
he's
Smart ice.
coachable and he can skate.
Yeah.
So for me, in today's game especially, if you cannot skate, good luck. If you can skate, there's a lot to work with.
You've got no chance if you cannot skate. It's absolutely true.
It's a
Um,
different game.
so we've talked about those two players who you just got. You did get some veteran help this offseason as well. Rod was up, Rodrigo Abels, and you look at what guys like him can bring. Those veteran present guys. Oscar Eklund came up a little bit too. He comes over. Those veteran guys in a situation like this, Lap, where you're trying to tick off rounds of playoffs, I imagine are really important to the younger group.
It is. Rod's been a huge addition for us, and early in the season, I didn't know him. He didn't know me. So got to know him. I played guys more minutes than he did. He, for whatever reason, he got sick for 10 days, came back after those 10 days, and he was a totally different player. I don't know if he needed that reset
Crazy.
mentally and we had injuries at the time. I used him a little bit more, gain his confidence, gain my confidence. But more than that, what a human being. Like he's just one of those guys that, especially at our level, when you have a veteran like that who's 28 years old, who's tried it once here, went back home, came back. And speaking of a guy who's been raised by a coach, his dad's the coach for Latvia. You can tell, knows the game, says the right thing, never a pushback unless you're wrong, which we agree pretty much on everything in the game. So if I not challenge him, but if I point out something that he did wrong in front of the team, he's a guy who's shaking his head. You're right, Lap. Like he's perfect because all those young kids that are looking up to him. Same with Wilson and Gartner and Cal Peterson and Belpedio. If I have those guys looking at me like I'm wrong or telling me I'm wrong, I lose my room. But
Yep.
when you add guys that are pushing with me and agreeing with what I'm saying, it only helps me being a better coach and it helps us being a better team.
Everybody pulling the rope in the same direction. It's massive.
And you know what? I've been on teams, Jace, that the coach would leave the room and you'd have a third of the room against the coach and be pushing against it. So these are the teams that coach loses the room and teams don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But I feel like with my leadership group and Rod's one of those guys, and they push with me and he's been a great addition.
Let me ask you about a defenseman in particular here. Drafted back in 2021 in the 6th round. It's kind of one of those unforgotten picks. But I've been watching some clips of Ethan Sampson, the
Yeah.
way he moves now. He's a +3 for you in that first playoff game. A pretty good year, 24 points, 12-12 on the season. How has his game developed? Because he's one of those guys that's maybe not talked about as much as maybe a
Nope.
Helgrons or McDonald or some of the other guys. Where's he at right now?
Great start of the season. Our best defenseman in the first 10, 15 games. One of their two best, our best defensemen. Had a little slump, like more than a little. Like his game went away. Like I feel like, and I tell him that. Like I'm not making this stuff up. Like he's when he tries to do too much, when he's looking for a better play, that's what's in front of him. That's where he gets in trouble. When he tries to bring the puck back, that's where he gets in trouble. But he's got those moments like right now, he's in that groove now. Moves it well, skates well. I don't know if you saw the game last night. He crushed a guy. I don't remember who it was, right in the middle of the ice. Like he's physical, he's confident. That's what we need him to be. But I forget, and people forget too, and that's my mistake too. He's 21 years old.
Yeah.
He's a baby at
He's a
that
pup still.
position.
Yeah.
It takes those guys until they're 25, 26 when they really become the defenseman they'll become it. I got to remind myself, and Jason Smith's great for that. He's the one reminding me because he runs our D, and I'm hard on Sammy because I know he proved me the way he can play at the beginning of the year, and he wants me to be hard on him. I have those great talks with him. He's like, "Lap, I like when you're hard on me. Keep being hard on. Whoop, sorry, but keep being hard on me." So I do that, but I have to realize, and the Gator's there to remind me that he's only 21 and
Yeah.
he's 6'3", whatever he is. It skates like the wind, big body, and he showed in the playoffs so far that he's willing to crush people when it's the right time. And again, I'm learning too as a coach. Like you know what, Jason? Like we all, everybody, we think we know everything. We don't think we know everything, but sometimes we have an idea, we have an opinion on a guy, but sometimes that guy's gonna change, and I have to change with that too. Like I
Yeah.
have to learn
That's fair.
to be fair with the kid,
Yeah.
and yeah, I try to be, and I'm honest with Sammy. And he's an unbelievable human being, so that helps. For me
Yeah.
to have time for a guy like that because he's a great human and he's
And he
getting
likes
better
being
and better
coached
and better.
hard. Like, come on.
That's rare in today's world.
Very, it is. And, being a bigger kid, you wonder if, he was just outsizing people through his years of, growing up playing and didn't have to be coached hard because he was just bigger than everybody. But a big kid that can skate like the wind and wants to be coached hard tells me a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah, me too.
about
And also
what's in
like
there.
he came from junior, probably played 35 minutes a game there, like
Yeah.
because of his size and
Owned
speed.
it.
So
Yeah.
he cheats the game a little bit more. Here you can't cheat the game, and he doesn't play 30 minutes, but when he does play like he's playing right now, I see a future in front of him, but that's a matter of he needs to do it every night. He won't be perfect every night. He won't be great every night, but he's got to be consistent about the effort and the way he needs to play. And right now, the stretch we're on right now, he's helping us big time.
Is this your last stint coaching Emil Andre these playoffs, you think?
I love ML.
He's
Like Andy's
he's a
great.
fire plug, isn't he?
He's a
Hydrant.
competitor. He
Yeah.
is, and that's what like people are like, what's his strength? Another great skater. He moves the puck well. Not super big, obviously, but my answer to them, he's a competitor. He wants to be in there. He puts himself in trouble sometimes because he thinks he's 6'4" in his head.
Yeah.
But I can live with that because it's easier for me to calm him down than tell him to be a little bit more aggressive and be more on his toes. He's on his toes. He tries hard, and I get an all time like last year. Got to know him like it was he got to know me. I got to know him. We had a little moment, but this year I figured him out. And at the end of last year, I should say, I figured him out, and he figured me out. And I think we have a great relationship, and he's a big part of what we're trying to do here this year.
He sees the ice very well when
He,
he's carrying the puck out of his zone.
for sure.
Eh,
Heads
eh,
up, make the right play. Like
Yeah.
he's been great for us for sure.
He's been computing. Let me ask you about Zayd wisdom because it's been kind of a, we always say it, Lap, development's not a straight line. It's not just
No
you start making there's ups and downs to it, and they're different for every player. And Zayd is a great kind of example
story.
of that. Yeah. And you love the kid. Like his like attitude and outlook and personality is infectious. But he came in this year, he had something to prove. And he's going out and he's putting it on the ice. What have you seen difference wise this year from Wade that's making him more successful? Or Zayd?
Listen, every year there's people coming up from the draft. There's
Yep.
coming. Last year we had a bunch of guys there, and Wiz wasn't playing. He was, and the team told him, "You got to go to Reading." So he didn't have to agree to that. And I'll be honest, and I told him right to his face, I was the first one ready to drive him to Reading because he was sitting around here not playing. So it would have been better for him. I felt it would have been better for him to go there, and he didn't agree. So he stayed with us, practice, practice. And the summer, I checked with my players. I give him a call, and he told me, he's like, "Lap," he's like, "I'm training in Montreal this summer. I changed my training. I'm gonna make your team, and you won't be able to take me out of the lineup. I'm like,
Love
yeah,
that.
yeah. I heard that. Oh, yeah, but I heard that before. But
Yeah.
like,
Words.
like you hear players like, yeah, talk is cheap, walk the walk. But I gotta give the kid credit. He's been on. He's been one of our best forward all year.
Yep.
Like I put him in. I couldn't take him out, and he's been
Gives you an element
competing.
you can't leave, you can't lose, right?
Unreal. He competes, he skates well, kills penalties, and guess what? It goes both ways. You give me more, I'll give you more. You didn't kill penalties last year, kill penalties this year. Get one of our best penalty killers. Guess what? You get more ice time. You're out there, you're more confidence. It goes both ways. You give me more, I'll give you more. And all of a sudden, he plays 16, 17 minutes a night, and he's producing with Oli and Gauche. And yeah, he's been a great surprise, and it couldn't happen to a better guy. Love the guy. What a great
Yeah.
human. Like, he cares so much about his teams, cares so much about his career, and he should. And yeah, he's just a great story. I got so many of those, but I got Parker Garrigan, our
Yeah.
goalie there. What a story! West Point graduate. He's our
Yeah.
starter now. Came out of nowhere. Like it's a fun team, fun guys, and all of them have great stories.
With the wisdom too, you never have to wonder when you chuck him over the boards for a shift if he's going to go out there and go all out. Like, dude's going to come out like he shot out of a cannon every
But he
time.
always he's always done that.
Yeah.
Always did it. But
Yeah.
like in the past, the puck would be bouncing all over the place. He'd lose the puck. He'd fall down. But this year, he's got confidence. He's got swagger. He keeps that puck, make plays, and like he's making plays like I've never seen him do.
Yeah.
And
Not chopping
it's
the
just
puck
a
up
great.
every chance he gets,
No, it's just a
overhandling it.
great story. And him and Ghosh and Oli have a great chemistry.
Yeah.
So it's been great.
You guys play again tomorrow at
Yeah,
PPL Center. I
correct.
want people to fill the building. It's a great building. Like, you're blessed that Lehigh
I
Valley
am.
fans. It is phenomenal. I really love I want to go there for a concert sometime too. I think a concert would be phenomenal there.
Yeah,
It's
we
such
went to see Sebastian Maniscalco a couple of
a
weeks back
comedian.
with me and the wife. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
We're a big fan of his, so we went to see him. Great place. But again, you're right. Like, Flyers are out now. Reading's out. We need people to come up from Philly. We need people from come down from Reading. Like, it's a great building. It's going to be buzzing tomorrow, and hopefully we
It's the
can win that
Penguins.
last game. It is. It is.
It's
It's a
the
good
Hooks by
drive.
Straight Penguin. Like,
Yeah.
look, you got a great chance to see, you know, like Emil Andre, who we've seen this year, but you also get to see bump in his first pro kind of stint. You get to
Yeah.
see, you know, Jett
Grants,
Luchanko again.
Jennings,
Yeah,
Samson, Luchenko, name it. Like we do. Future of the Flyers are here. People should come check them out. And they play tons of minutes. They compete. And yeah, it's a great level of hockey right now. And we're playing against a great team. Like, like I can't say enough. Like the Penguins have a great farm team, well coached, great players. And it should be a good game.
no doubt about it. Let's fill that barn up coming up on Saturday. Get you the sweep. Get you on to round 2 with Charlotte.
Mhm.
And I'd love to see you get some revenge on the Bears at some point too. They're obviously a wagon pretty much every year.
Staying in the
Um,
moment, but we're
yep.
staying in the moment.
Yeah.
Today was a good day, good practice. It's a beautiful day outside, and we'll try to take care of business tomorrow.
Absolutely. Do that. And people get down there, go to the game early. Great areas to eat right around the arena as well. Great food in the arena. Make sure you go to the Phantoms website to get those tickets and get down there and support the Flyers of tomorrow. Ian Laperrière and the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. Lap, thanks for doing this, man. Best of luck tomorrow. I'll be
All right,
I'll
bud.
be rooting you on, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, bud. Thanks for having me, and keep the fight, bud. I'm with you.
There he is, Ian Laperrière. Phantoms back at it. See if they can move on, get a sweep of the Penguins, who they beat last year in the first round, and then went on to lose in the second round to the Hershey Bears, who went on to win the Calder Cup in back-to-back fashion. And this year they would get draw the Charlotte Checkers coming up in the second round. So we'll see if they're able to get that done. Interesting commentary too on Zayd Wisdom. We talk about that development as an NHL or a pro player is never a straight line. He comes in that year where the pandemic hit, and so it was deemed the 2021 season. He was junior aged, but was playing in the AHL because they were allowed because junior hockey was shut down. Now, the AHL was a little watered down too because there was a lot of underage players there. But in 28 games, great season. He had 18 points. He had 7 goals, 11 assists. He gets off to a really good start to his pro career. Then his next season, the 22-23 season with the Phantoms in 45 games, he only tallied 10 points, 3 goals, 7 assists. Seemed to have lost his way. I mean, he looked like he wasn't ready for that level of play. Then 23-24, really tough year. 49 games, only 2 goals, 1 assist, 10 points. Sent down to the East Coast Hockey League, decided not to go, stayed with the Phantoms, worked his butt off over the summer. And as you heard Lappy say there, called him and said, I'm going to make your team, and I'm not going to let you take me out a lot. But he's played 68 games this year. 13 goals, 19 assists, 32 points, plus 10. Got himself on the PK, playing with some higher-end players. So he's earned it. Guy was probably down and was, he was becoming an afterthought. Drafted by a different front office. But he's put himself back in the equation right now. I love seeing that. So best of luck to Zayd Wisdom through these playoffs and as he continues his development as a professional hockey player. Thanks to Ian Laperrière as well for joining us on this edition of Flyers Daily. We'll be back Monday. We will have a Mondays with Meltzer. I think next week we're going to have at least one of our exit day player interviews. And I'm thinking we might start out with Garnet Hathaway because I enjoyed the conversation with Garney so much. So I enjoyed it with all the guys, but the one with Garney to me was a highly intelligent conversation, at least on one side. And that would be the guy that went to Brown, not the guy that went to Penn State. Garney went to Brown. Jason went to Penn State, and not known for his academics. But we'll do that coming up on Monday. So join us then. Enjoy the playoff hockey this week and enjoy the good weather. Go Phantoms. We'll talk to you next time on a brand new Flyers Daily.